Hello everyone. Good evening. I hope you guys can see my screen. Okay, great. So what we are going to start today? Today we are going to start with the testing of Angular 2 applications, and we will talk about the testing stuff, that how you can test your applications, uh, and what is Jasmine, what is Selenium, and how you can write that stuff. Okay, fine, then let's start our session number 18, and it is going to be on testing. So let's see, first of all, what you need to do. What we will do, we will first look at the syntax, that how you write the test cases, and how you start writing it. Also, what is the syntax for writing the test cases in Angular 2. Okay, so first of all, going to the basics, that why the testing is required and how it is done and what are its different types. So you created your web application. Okay, now you want the web application to be validated and to be of good quality, right? So what you do, you hire some quality assurance people, right? You hire the testers who can test your application. Okay, so now testing is further categorized into two parts. First is manual testing and second is automated testing, right? So what happens in manual testing? In manual testing, a person who is having a good experience of testing a application from different perspectives, he or she tests your application from uh, from his perspective and also according to different use cases, right? And all the stuff is done by himself or herself manually, right? So there is no automated code associated with it. He or she has to test your application end to end, and that too manually. Okay, so manual testing also has a lot of scope. However, manual testing involves lot of effort as well, right? So there is a big application, then your quality assurance guy has to go through each scenario every day, each time, right? Which is quite hectic, and in very large enterprise applications, it's not even feasible to perform manual testing of each and everything. Okay, so rather what you do, you guys need the stuff to be automated, right? And there comes the concept of automated testing. All right, so there are several things, several terminologies you will see in automated testing, and which includes Jasmine, Selenium, all this stuff. Okay, so what in general you have, in general Selenium is the very famous, you can say Selenium server is very famous for the testing, and Jasmine is the one which you can say is a kind of wrapper on top of Selenium. All right, so in general we will be going to use the Jasmine, and which will internally use the Selenium. Okay, however, for our stuff, running the test cases and everything, we will be doing via Angular CLI only. Okay, so everything will be done by our Angular CLI. So first of all, what I will do, I will tell you about the syntaxes, how you write in Jasmine. Okay, so to learn the syntax, you need not to go to the uh, Angular application first. First, what we will do, we will download the Jasmine standalone server application, and from there I will show you that how you write the test cases and what is the syntax to write it. Okay, so first of all, what you have to do, you have to download the Jasmine standalone server application. So that you can just Google it by writing here uh, Jasmine standalone. Okay, so from GitHub you can download the zip file. Okay, so you can download this Jasmine standalone. All right, so why we are downloading this? Because it is a standalone application in which you can just run your test cases. Okay, and from this project we will be seeing what is the syntax. Okay, we will write one simple short program and we will see how you can actually write the test case of that. Okay, after that we will move to our actual Angular 2 application where we will see how you can test your application. Okay, so this what you say, this session is dedicated towards the automated testing only. Okay, and inside automated we will be talking about unit testing. All right, so first of all let's see what you get when you download this. If you download this file, zip file, and you extract it, you will get a folder like this, Jasmine testing, inside which you will be having 3 folders, lib, spec, and src. Okay, and one file, specrunner.html. All right, now what does lib contains? Lib contains the all the library files for your Jasmine framework. Okay, so this is not of our concern at all. This just contains some library of Jasmine and its files are there. Okay, so we will not look into lib file. Then comes the spec folder. What is this spec folder? This spec folder is the folder which contains your test cases. Okay, and there is src. Src is the folder which contains the actual code. Okay, actual JavaScript code which you want to test. Okay, so for now we will be just looking at plain JavaScript code. Okay, then we will move on to our application. Okay, so let's suppose this is a simple JavaScript code which you want to test. Okay, simplest function, 2 functions are there, add 2 numbers and multiply 2 numbers. Okay, so these functions you want to test whether these functions are working fine or not. Right, what is the purpose of testing? Testing purpose is to evaluate whether your functions are working fine or not. Okay, so for that what you need one outcome. Okay, so to keep it very simple, I have just written 2 functions, add 2 numbers which accepts 2 parameters and they return the addition of those 2 parameters. Similarly, we have multiply 2 numbers. What they does, they just multiply the 2 numbers and return the result. Okay, and where we will see its code will go under spec folder. So src will contain the source code, src as the name says, and spec folder will be containing the actual test cases. Okay, all right, so first of all let me tell you the terminology inside a Jasmine framework. Okay, so first of all what you have one expectation. Okay, so what is the meaning of expectation? Expectation is nothing but a function. You can see expect is what? It is nothing but a function, right? In which you write your actual expectation, that what do you expect from that function. Okay, since we want to test what? We want to test this add 2 numbers, right? Which is present in this file, add 2 numbers. Okay, I want to test this function add 2 numbers by passing 2 parameters, a comma b. Okay, and then I am expecting them to be equal to 7. So that means expectation is nothing but what do you expect from that function to return in a given conditions. Okay, like if I pass 2 values to this function, I expect this should be the result. Okay, so this is called as a expectation. Expectation is nothing but what do you expect from a function. Okay, and you write it with a function called as expect. Okay, expect is a function in Jasmine framework. Okay, then comes this it. What is it? It is again a function, right? Okay, so it is nothing but a collection of expectations. There can be multiple expectations within a it function, and what we call a it function, is nothing but called as a spec. Okay, so there are three terminologies. First is expectation, second is a spec, and third is a suit. Okay, so this it is nothing but a testing spec. So what is a testing spec? A testing spec is nothing but a collection of expectations. There can be multiple expect statements within a spec. Okay, so what spec function takes? Sorry, it function. A spec takes first is the name of the spec, and then second parameter is the function in which you write your expectations. Okay, so one spec can contain multiple expectations, just like our this spec. This spec is containing two, right? Two expectations are there, in which we are doing multiplication of two numbers to be equal to 12 and multiple of again two numbers to be equal to 0. Okay, so this is our another spec. Okay, then comes a complete suit. What is a suit? A describe function denotes the suit. So what is describe function? Describe function is a collection of more than one spec, right? This is one spec, this is another spec, this is third spec. A collection of all the specs is called as a suite. SUITE. Okay, so what I am telling you? I am telling you about the what is the terminology and what is the syntax of writing the test cases in Jasmine.
आपने व्हॅल्यूला असाइन कर दिसा म्हणजे ती व्हॅल्यूला मॅन्युअली इनपुट करेल जमा हेले हेठाने टू
Okay, all right. Now what we have done here, we have written the testing for these two functions, add two numbers and multiply two numbers, right? And this third one I will tell you later. Forget about this, let's talk about these two only. Okay, and then at line number 3 what I have done, I have just initiated two variables, right? I can initiate them. How? Because it's ultimately a JS file. In JS, this is how you initiate initiate a variable, right? All right, so I just remove this. So this is your testing file, which it contains actual test cases. Okay, now one unit test file can contain multiple suites as well. Okay, so this is your test case file, this is your code file which you want to test. Okay, now comes our spec runner.html. This is the actual file which you will run, and if you run this, it will automatically start running your test cases. Okay, how? That we will see. So what you need to do, you need to just open this file in a browser. Okay, so here you can see there are some libraries already imported here. Line number 10, 11, 12, all the Jasmine related stuff is already imported. What I have written inside this, I have written only line number 15 and line number 18. Okay, what is line number 15? This is the path of the file in which my source code is written. Okay, and line number 18 is what? It is the path of the file where my unit test cases are written. Okay, let's save this and let's run it. So here we are, session number 18. So this is Jasmine testing, and I have to open this spec runner.html inside the Chrome. So you can see it gives you this UI, right, which contains some three specs, right? What is this three specs? Three specs are what? It's nothing but these three specs. Three it functions are nothing but three specs. Okay. And what it says zero failure. So that means as soon as you open this page in your browser, it has automatically started testing all the three specs, and it is showing you the result as well, zero failures. So that means our all the three test cases, all the three specs have been passed. Okay. If there are multiple expectations in a spec like this, there are multiple expectations. If even one of the expectation fails, then your complete spec is considered as a failing spec. So that means in order this spec should pass, it means all the expectations should be met. So that means all the expectations should be cleared. Okay. Similarly, even if one of the spec fails, the complete suit will be said to be failing suit. Okay. So that means there is only one way in which you can say your testing is complete, when each and every expectation is fulfilled successfully and all the specs are executed successfully. Okay. Then you can see it is showing you these links as well. Testing two numbers. This testing two numbers is the kind of heading, right? This heading is nothing but this testing two numbers of our suit. Under this suit, we have three specs that are mentioned just beside this: add numbers, multiply numbers, compare numbers, right? All three: add numbers, multiply numbers, and compare numbers. Okay. Now I can run each of them one by one as well. If I click on this multiply numbers, then it will start running it. You can see it says ran one of three specs. One spec, zero failure. If I click on second one, it again says ran one of three specs, one spec, zero failures. And if you want to run all of them, you can just click on this run all. If you will click on this, it will run all three of them. Okay. Now let's go and break one of the test cases. Okay. Let's say to the multiply 0 with this number, I say it will not be 0, it will be something else. Let's say I say it will be 99999, right? If you multiply 0 with anything, it should be 9, right? But what I am telling it should be 99999, which is not possible. So that means this will break it. Let's save this and see. I go here and I refresh. You can see as soon as I refresh, it says three specs, one failure. Which one is failure? This complete spec is treated to be as failure because one of the expectations got failed. Since one of the expectation is failed, complete spec is treated as failing spec. Okay. So you can see the result as well. Expected 0 to equal this number, right? It is giving the result as well. Expected 0, which is the output. You are expecting 0 to be this, which is not correct. So that is why this one is failed. And you can see everywhere it is red in color now. Earlier it was green in color. Okay. So if I just Control Z and make everything correct, you will be seeing everything will be working very fine. As soon as I refresh, all three specs are passing spec and zero failures. Is this clear till now? Okay, good. Fine. Let's proceed and see that there is a concept called as tearing down of tests. Okay, which is nothing but there are 4 functions. All right. If I tell you about those 4 functions, they are nothing but let's write each one of them. Let's say I just remove these first and this first. Okay. So there is a function called as before each. All right. What before each function says, it says before each spec actually starts running, this function will get called. Okay. So before each, you can write when you want to initialize something on starting of each spec. Okay, when this spec starts running, you want to do some stuff. Again, this spec starts running, you want to do some stuff. All that you can write into the function called as before each. Okay, inside the before each, what I am doing, I've just written a console statement. I'm just setting A to 4 and B to 3. Okay, simple. Let's see how many times this statement will get printed. I go here and let's see in the console. First I refresh. You can see there are 3 specs. In our program, there are 3 specs. That many number of times setting up is printed. So that means this function before each is getting called before each spec actually starts running. Okay. Then there is a function called as before all. Okay. So what is the meaning of before all? Before all means it will run only once. Before all the test cases starts running, this function will be called once. Okay. Once one of the spec is executed, then this will not be called. This will be called only once. Let's see. I save it. I go here and I refresh. You can see before all running for the first time only. After that only setting up is called. Okay, before all is the very first function, and after that it's before each. Okay. Now let's have a look at another function which is after each. Okay. After each, opposite of before each. Okay, after each is what? It is opposite of before each, which means as soon as one of the spec is completed, after each will be called. Before each was getting called before the execution of each spec. After each is called after the execution of each spec. Let's see. I save it and I go here and I refresh. You can see setting up, tearing down, setting up, tearing down, setting up and tearing down. So they are nothing but before each, after each, before each, after each, before each, after each. Okay. So if you want to delete some values after each spec is running, you can do in after each function. If you want to initialize some values, you can do in before each. Okay. Then in last, we have one last function called as after all. After all is what? Just opposite to before all. Right? Before all is executed before running first test case. And after all is executed after running the last test case. Once everything is done, after all will be called. Let's see. I go here and I refresh. You can see the sequence now. Before all, after that each is getting called, and in last, after all is running for the last time only. Okay. So this is how you can actually set up and tear down your test cases. Okay. So these 4 functions are also useful, which you can learn. All right. So this is about the syntax. Okay. Now, if you see this function to equal, what is it? It is a helper function, which is helping you to execute this, right? You are expecting this output of this to be equal to 7, right? So what is this to equal? To equal is a helper function. So there are several helper functions in Jasmine. Okay, let's see what all are they. Uh, where is it? Let me check. Yes. So you can say them as the helper functions or the default matchers, right? Matchers means they are nothing but matching the output. Okay. So first one is to throw. Okay. So this to throw is not that frequently used, but if you are expecting that function to throw exception, okay, then you can check via to throw function. Okay, what we have used to equal. Why we have used to equal? Because we know our function is going to return a number, right? And then we are comparing the output. We are comparing the output of these two numbers with this number. Okay. Now, if you expect that your function has to throw an exception, right? Then you can mention to throw e. E is nothing but an exception object. Okay, you can write like this: expect, then the function name to throw exception. If it throws exception, this expectation will be considered as a fulfilled expectation. So that means it is working fine. It is a throwing exception, which is our expectation. Okay. Second is to be function. Okay, what is the meaning of to be? To be function means first thing is you can compare the instances. Okay. All right. So to be means to be can compare a string as well. It can compare instances as well. So that means you can compare objects. That means the data types as well. Okay. So wherever you have such a case, then you can use to be. All right. So one instance we are expecting to be another instance. Then we have to be defined. To be defined means you are expecting a value to be defined. It should not be null and it should not be undefined. Okay, so you wherever you have such a case that you want something to be defined, you can use to be defined function. Then we have to be falsy. To be falsy means, let's suppose your function is going to return a falsy value. What is a falsy value? It is either false or 0. These values are false. Okay. Then we have to be greater than, to be less than. These are very simple functions. You are expecting a number to be greater than another number, or you are expecting a number to be less than another number. Okay. Then we have to be null. When we expect the output of some function to be null. Then opposite of to be falsy is to be truthy. To be truthy means either it returns a true value or it returns anything other than 0. Then we have opposite of to be defined. Opposite of to be defined is nothing but to be undefined. Okay. And then we have to contain. To contain means it can be either inside an array or inside a string. Okay. You can check inside an array whether an array contains a value or not by using to contain function. Similarly, inside a string, you can check whether a string contains a substring or not. So this to contain can be used in two ways, either with the array or with the string. Okay, to equal, I already told, we have already used to equal function. Okay, in last we have to match. So to match is nothing but a pattern, that let's suppose there is a pattern which you want to test whether your output matches that pattern or not. In that case, you can use to match. Okay, so all these were the matching functions. Okay, matching functions are all, these are also the helper functions which helps you to match two values. Okay, so this is about the syntax, that how Jasmine framework syntax is written and how you will write it. Okay, so this we have learned in by using a standalone application of Jasmine. Okay, because here it is very simple to learn. If we directly jumped into the code of Angular 2, then it would have been little chaos. Let's close these files now, and now we go to the actual code. We will close this Jasmine testing. Now we will go to our application. Okay, so here I will show you some codes where and how you will be actually writing the unit test cases for your Angular application. Okay, if you remember that when we used to create a component, when we used to create a service, there is an extra file generated by ng, right? Whenever we used to create via ng generate, it gives you always more than one file, and that extra file was spec file, which we generally used to delete. Okay, that is the actual testing file. Okay, let's see, we have here where is it, in our home component. Yes, in our home component we are having this home.component.spec.ts. okay, what it is, it is nothing but a testing file. Okay, now here also you will see that we are going to use the same syntax which we have used in our this standalone application, right? So what was there? There was a describe function. If you remove these imports from the top, okay, what it is nothing but a describe function which contains what? It contains some test cases or the spec, right? What spec contains? Spec contains some expectations. Okay, so that is why it was very necessary for you to learn the basics first, the basics of testing. Rather than jumping directly here, I told you first about the syntax, right? Here the syntax is same, right? We have a describe, we are having one it, we are having expect, the same thing. Okay, let's do Control Z. So why we have imported all this stuff? So that to make it more of a Angular stuff. Otherwise, everything is same. Okay. Now we will see that how you will be actually testing your components. Right? In our Jasmine testing, in our standalone application, what we were doing, we were testing the JS file. Inside that JS file, there were some functions. Here also, we will be testing what? We will be testing the components. Right? Let's see. First of all, what you need to do? You need to import the component. Okay. So how you import a component? By writing like this, import home component from this file. Once this is imported, then what you need to do, you need to actually create the object of that component, right? If you remember in our service, in our session where we learned services, right? There we used dependency injection. From the dependency injection, what we used to do inside the constructor, we used to instantiate the object of the service. Okay. Since that was a service and the instantiation of object is handled internally, we need not to create an object of our own. But here it is a component. So that is why you have to instantiate the object of the component by writing line number 12. Okay, you can take any name, let home component or component, it is going to be of type home component equals to new of home component class, right? Home component is what? Ultimately it is a class. If you see, it is a class only, right? It's a class. Okay, and then what do we have? Forget about line number 14 for now, that is related to services. Okay, all right. Now what we have, ultimately we are going to have some functions, right? In our components also we are writing these test cases. Why? These unit test cases are for testing the functions only. Okay, so let's suppose there is a function in my component which calculates the maturity amount. Okay, so in my this home component I am having this function which calculates the maturity amount if you pass principal to it. Okay, when you pass principal to this function, it will actually return the maturity amount. Maturity amount means whatever value you get after adding the interest. Okay, so it's a simple formula: principal plus principal multiplied by interest divided by 100. Okay, so what we are doing, we are just adding principal with the interest. Okay, now we want to test whether inside my home component is having this function is working fine or not. Okay, that is what I have written inside this. Expect component, component means this component, dot that function, right? So as I created the object of that class, so that means I can access its functions. Same thing I'm doing, component of the object, calculate maturity amount is its function. Okay, I passed 100 to it, so that calculation becomes easier. So I passed 100 and I'm expecting this to be 107. Okay, why 107? Because I just hard coded interest value to 7. Okay, when we hard code it to 7, this is going to give you 100 plus 7. 100 plus 7 is 107. Same thing I am written here. I am expecting the maturity amount of 100 to be 107. Simple, right? So this is how you are going to write test cases in your Angular 2 application. You will be already having this home.component or spec.ts file, which will contain some code which is related to testing. Okay, and then you will be adding your test cases like this. All right, so this is related to component. Okay, first of all let me tell you how you will run this. Let's go here and I open command prompt. So as we have always used Angular CLI, right? Here also we are going to make use of that. So how you actually start testing your application? By writing ng space test. What it will do? It will automatically pick all the spec files and execute them. And it will give you the result as well, that how many spec were failed and how many specs were successful. Let's press enter and see. Okay, this is taking some time. Let's see. I don't know why is it taking so long. Yes. Okay, you can see it has opened this browser automatically. And you can see it says executed 2 of 2 success. Okay, What are those two test cases? These two test cases. Okay. And why is it opening Chrome? Because of one file called as karma.conf.js. Okay. Inside this, inside this karma file, what we do, we mention the what all browsers you want to test. Okay. So that is why it has already opened this. It has automatically opened this browser. So you have to test your application. Okay. If I close this, it will also closed. Okay. It has already opened it. Okay. So this is how you can do the browser testing as well. If you mention multiple browsers here, then it will open that browser as well. Okay. So this is nothing but a configuration file from where you can actually set which all browsers you want to test. Okay. And if you break the test case, then it will also show you that there was some error. Let's break the test case. I expect 107 to be, let's suppose 108. Let's save this and I go again here and I say ng test. It will again open the Chrome and we will see that what all errors will be there. Okay, I got a question that we are using Jasmine, but it is showing Karma. Okay, so Karma is nothing but a test case runner. Okay, using Karma, you can actually run your test cases. So that is why it is showing some Karma over there. Okay. So you can see it is showing some error, right? Executed 2 of 2, 1 failed. 1 is failed because I deliberately failed it. And that you can debug as well. If you click on this button on the browser, it will actually take you to this, and if you see in the console, you will be able to actually see the error, right? So you can see failed home component maturity amount expected 107 to be 108. It's the same thing which we were getting in the standalone application, right? Same thing we are getting here as well. Only thing is here we are getting in a console. Okay, let's close it. Okay. Yeah. So this is how you can test your components. You have to first import it. Then you have to create object of that component. After that, you have to call its functions to test. Okay. Now let's talk about service. Since you have created a component, you can create object of service as well. Okay. So how you inject a service? By simply writing this, right? Import the service first and then create the object of that service. Okay. And then let's suppose our service is containing some get square function. Where is our service? This is the service which contains a function called as get square, right? What it does, it simply does the square of a function, square of a number, and returns it. Okay, let's see what I'm doing here. I'm expecting ag service dot get square of 10 to be 100. Simple, right? So in the same way, you can do testing of a service as well. Just import the service, instantiate it, and then call its functions within a expect function. Okay. So this is where you will see that how you can categorize your expectations. All the expect functions related to this home component, you will be writing in this spec. Okay. All the expectations which are related to your service, you will be writing in this spec. Okay. So that tomorrow if any one of these fails, then what? You will be able to know that which component is failing, which service is failing. Okay. Yeah, Vikrant, these are just the names. So Vikrant is asking, what is this maturity amount and what is this find square? These are just names. You can name them anything. Okay. Okay, I got another question. If you use two equal, yes, you can use, because since they are numbers, you can use two equal as well. Let's save this and I again run it. Those are name of spec. It is a spec, right? It's a name of spec. Just like this describe. It is name of the complete suit. Let's see. Now I am using two equal. All right. Okay, one is failed because of this 108. Let me write 107. I save it and I just close it and I again run it using ng test. Let's see, again it is taking some time. Okay, so you can see it says executed 2 of 2 success. So that means both the test cases are passed successfully. Okay, so this is how you will see that you will be writing all the unit test cases here. And after that, what you need to do, you need to just run one command, ng test. That's it. It will automatically start testing all the spec files. Okay, and it will in last it will give you all the results as well, that what all test cases have failed and what all have passed, right? So you can see that it is automated testing is really very important and very easy, right? Instead of you as a person sitting and you testing your application on your own, right? You can't do that daily. Work of testers will be huge then, right? And instead of that, what you do, you write automation testing, right? You write this automated code and daily you just come in the morning, come to office, run ng test. That's it, and it will give you the complete report, what all functions are failing, what all functions are successful, what's happening, right? All that stuff is done like that. Okay, all right. Then there is one small test case written here in the bottom, right? Which is testing what? Which is expecting the component. Okay, what is that component? With this component which we have created to be truthy. To be truthy means it should not be undefined, it should not be null, it should not be false, right? So that is what it means, that object should exist. Okay, so using this you can check whether the object of component is getting created or not. That's it. Okay, and you can see that since it is Angular 2, instead of this function you can actually use what? Arrow function, right? So here is that syntax, using the arrow function syntax. Okay, even in our describe also, this is what it is, arrow function. Okay, so you will be finding lot of stuff in lot of spec files. Okay, so basic structure will be readily given to you. Only thing is you have to write all these things in case you have to write. Okay, in some of the companies, in some of the projects, maybe people don't even write the test cases. Okay, so as I, if I say like in our today's session, I can see like lot of strength today. Okay, as per my previous experience of other batches, I have seen that people don't even like to attend the testing sessions because they don't like testing. But it's really good that you all joined, and at least you got to know that what is a syntax, what is a spec, what is a suit, what is expectation, what is the syntax of it, how you write it, and how you run it. Okay, so next time if you go and a person from your quality team is talking with you regarding anything, any of these topics, you will be having at least some basic idea. You will be having an understanding that what he is talking about. Okay, I really appreciate it. Let's just close it. All right. I got a question. Can you show an example of manual testing? Manual testing is nothing but just you do the testing on your own. On your own, as in, let's suppose there is a button. On click of that, you call one function. Okay, what is that? That is nothing but a testing. Rather than writing a code for it, you manually click on that button and you see whether an alert is coming or not. Let's suppose in that function, you write a alert statement. Okay, yeah, just like one function, like calculator function. You manually test it. You manually enter both the values, press enter, and you got the value, you validate it. That is manual testing. Okay, okay, then so this concludes our session for today, which is was on testing. All right, uh, no, Maddie, we are not going to cover this deploying, as in because of the deployment part is already taken care in our this deployment part of our Webpack. So internally, Webpack is doing the deployment of our application on the node server which we have created. Vikrant, I didn't get you. Set up the environment as in Angular CLI has already done that. You got the complete running environment setup only. Oh, you are talking about the app developed by which we have developed. You want to deploy on some other server, like from where it can be accessed. Okay, yeah. This Tomcat everything, this is not required. Like in our case, we are using Angular CLI. It is having an inbuilt webpack, which is internally using a Express server, Node Express server. Okay, so that is why we need not to deploy it on your own. Okay, so you are talking about something like hosting. Uh, Okay, okay. Installing the Angular CLI on any server, like from where you can access it globally, is it? Oh, okay. Actually, that part I am also not aware of, that how you are going to do it for Angular 2, because I personally haven't done it yet. If any one of you have hosted application on a global server, then maybe you can give your inputs, because I haven't done it personally. If you guys, any one of you have hosted any application, I'm actually asking to you guys that any one of you have done that, just like hosting on some globally available like free, which have free hosting, which provide. No one has done that. Actually, there should be some steps. Let me check if Angular CLI and our Angular docs says something about it. Let's see right now. Let's look into the docs as well. It is giving some long steps. There is this answer. I tried it again on Angular CLI Beta 21 and Angular 2 greater than this version, and it is working as expected. This answer requires initializing the app with Angular CLI. You can use this. Okay, let's see here. Okay, creating a build, you have to run ng build, and it will be stored under a dist folder. And after that, what we have, okay, let's see if it says something. Okay, even docs also doesn't says about deployment. Let's see here. Okay, even Angular.io is not having any content related to deployment. It says 404. Let's see if Stack Overflow helps us. Okay, this guy says that using this command will do the task for you. Like use the Angular CLI and use ng build and command in the root directory of your project, which we generally do, where we write all our ng related stuff. Okay, only thing is you should not uh, send this node modules folder. Okay, you do not ship this folder. Rest all project you have to ship, because node modules will be installed on your remote server. That folder will be created there. And this answer says that there are two things. One is deploy as it is, that is no minification, concatenation, nothing. Okay, and second is bundling it via Webpack. So this is the second thing we generally do in our local system. Okay, any one of you have any hosting account somewhere? No one has? Yeah, I mean any on any website.
Hello.
Yes, yes, we can hear you. Okay, Atul is having. Atul, can you have you ever tried to deploy any application, any simple HTML application as well there? Okay, can you try this for us? That you push this code, this Angular to any Angular to application which we have created in our course. Can you push there and just try if it works?
Hello, Rachit.
Yes.
Can't we do that in one of our sessions? I mean, even you must be having number of projects, right? You can download Tomcat and you can follow these steps and show us how can you deploy it on Tomcat in or any web container for that matter.
That is actually not required. That is what I want to say, that in when you are running on local, then you need not to run it on Tomcat. Why? Because we are already running it on top of Express.js server. Okay, so Angular CLI by default uses its own server. So when we open localhost 4200, it's running on a server with port 4200.
Okay, then in that case, can you on any system on which Angular CLI is not there, only Tomcat is there? Can we try? Can you scroll down? There is one answer which says that you just have to use ng build, which will create a file, and then you have to deploy that file. On a system
Yes.
where Angular CLI is not there and Tomcat is only there, we can follow this command, right? Right? You can create this build file on a system where Angular CLI is there, and
Where is
then
it written?
uh,
Any
command in the
answer
root
was?
directory. Scroll up, scroll up. Command in the root directory of execute ng build in the root directory, then the site will be the suit or site. I am not able to hear.
It's
Let's
site.
see. The site will be created in the dist directory, and you can deploy that on any web server. So in dist directory, that site will be created, and you have to site. I think that is some file, and you have to deploy that file.
Okay, let's try this one only. We have this project, right? So what I do, I just run the command here, and what we have to write? We have to write ng build.
Yeah.
Let's see what it will give you. We have this many folders. It should create another folder, right? It should create a dist folder. Let's see. It is doing something. Let's see what it will give you. Okay, we got this dist folder, and inside this dist folder we have this stuff. Okay, now what I can do is, any one of you has any other web server? Because I work on Node. Uh, okay, Atul is telling we can deploy on Heroku as well. Okay, so what I will do is I will share this dist folder. Okay, what I do, I just zip it. This dist folder, I'm zipping it, and I will upload in the reference material. From there, you can download it. Okay, from reference material. I just go here and I am putting this dist folder. Okay, so I uploaded this complete zip file, which is under the zip, as this answer says, and then whatever is under this directory you can deploy on any server. Okay, so it contains all this stuff. Let the icon go. Index is there. It contains all the modules files, right? It is JS. Okay, it will not have any TS files. All right, it has some web page related information. Styles are there. Yeah. Okay, so I uploaded this dist folder there. Yes, it is uploaded. Can you guys try this out? If you guys have any other server in your local systems? Yes. And Atul is also having some account on Heroku. Atul, can you get this file and can you try to upload it there and see if it works? As we have few answers here, that what you need to do. Okay. Yeah, that's great. If you have some experience on hosting the apps, because hosting on the remote server, I don't have any. Okay, so you can get the file, that dist file, from the reference material if you need one. Okay, and Vikrant, do you have any local server like
Mm,
Tomcat or Apache or WAMP?
no, no, not on home laptop.
Okay, you don't have any.
No.
Okay, then anyone else has any local server? Okay, no problem. Maybe Atul will try this out, and we'll see that what is the progress and how we can see this.
Okay.
Okay, and here are some steps for Heroku as well, in case you need that. With the Angular CLI, it's easy. An example of Heroku: create a Heroku account, install CLI, move this dependency to dependencies in package.json so that it gets installed when you push Heroku. After a post install script that will run ng build. When the code gets pushed to Heroku, also add a start. Okay, so I'm sending you this link as well. Okay, this is in the last. This answer is in the last. It doesn't get any vote, but still it might work for us. Okay, all right. Okay, thanks Atul. We'll see you tomorrow. Okay. Okay, then I stop sharing my screen. And now we will be having a session tomorrow. Okay, I got a link from Namita. What is it? Oh, nice. I think Namita has already done it. It's there. It's running on the remote server. Namita, can you share? Okay, it's not working. Let me just refresh and see. It says some inline bundle.js, style bundle.js, main bundle.js is not found. It's there. Okay, yeah, go ahead. You share your screen. I stop sharing. Actually, you're not audible. Can you unmute yourself?
Manipal, कौन?
Yeah, I unmuted you. Can you speak now?
Kind of, na? Hi Rachit, Sunil this side. Actually, Namita is my wife, right?
Oh, okay, okay, yeah.
Okay, so this is my FTP. I already share my screen. I think you can see my screen, right?
Yes, we can see.
Yes, this is my FTP location. I have put the domain hosting that is giftdukan.com, and within this public underscore HTML, I have created a folder, right?
Okay.
And within this folder, I have uploaded this your dist folder, all the content of the dist folder.
Okay.
You can see all the files over here, right?
Mm-hmm.
But that is the error. I will already share you my URL. Earlier also I have tried all the things, but it's not working.
Why is it dist and under inside that there is another dist folder?
No, see, the left side is my local system. See, user Sunil desktop. This is I have downloaded from your AcadGuild reference matrix,
Okay. Mm-hmm.
and the right side is the remote system, right?
Okay.
This is my FTP.
Okay. Okay.
You got it, I think.
Yes. I'm getting little bit. So this is where you have uploaded on the remote server,
Yes,
which is
yes,
on the right hand side. Yes.
yes. That public underscore HTML is my root folder, where everything is hosted. Within that folder, I have created a folder called Namita, right?
Mm-hmm.
And within this folder, I have uploaded all the content.
Okay. Can you open that link as well, which I was sharing? Let me just share that again.
Okay. I think you are sharing that things, right?
Yes, I sent in the chat. It's not visible to us. You have shared only a program. Can you share the complete desktop?
My desktop.
Yes, complete desktop. While sharing, it will ask you to share a program, or you want to show the complete desktop.
No, I am not getting what you want.
We are not able. We were able to see only that screen. Other than that, nothing is visible to us.
Okay, okay.
Can you just stop sharing, and while again sharing, just share the complete desktop, so that
Okay.
all the applications will be visible to us.
Okay, I got it. How to stop?
Share screen.
Actually, I'm not how to share all the desktop. I have an option called news here, right? Within the news here,
You got that button of share screen, right?
share
If you
screen.
click
Yes.
on this, yes. After that, it has asked you to share some another option, or it just started sharing.
Within the news here, there are different screen or
The
selected.
first one will be desktop, I think. First one.
Yeah. I got it. Okay. I think now you can see my
Yes.
desktop. Right?
Now we can see the desktop.
Okay. Now you can see my desktop, right?
Yes, we can see.
So this is your dist folder I have downloaded from the wherever from your location,
Yes,
right?
yes. Mm-hmm.
And this is C colon Sunil desktop dist and dist, right? And
Okay.
after that I have opened my FTP location. This is my FTP location.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. See, these are the root location, right?
Okay.
Okay. See, if I run my, let's say some other folder. Let me run some other folder over here. For example, this is another folder. This is simple HTML5. I have uploaded the content. something called some site. I have created some site,
Okay.
and this is working, right? Just I am showing you the example.
Okay.
And in the same way, this is the site I have created, right?
Okay.
Hello. Okay.
Yes, yes.
In the same way I have created another folder called Namita,
Okay.
and within the same folder I have you can see the FTP, same FTP, right? Over here, this is the Namita folder, right?
Yes.
And these are the left side content are from the local system, and right side content are from the my remote system.
Okay. Yes.
I think you got everything right.
Yes, I'm getting it. Now only thing is,
Earlier also I have tried the same things with different option, right?
okay, now it is trying to find those files which
Hmm.
are included in
Hmm.
our index.html. It is trying to find inside the root folder. So that means it is finding outside the Namita folder. Okay, just open this. Can you edit this HTML file, index.html file here?
Sure, sure.
You just edit.
Okay.
Yeah, this line number 13.
Line number 13. Yeah.
Yeah, here you can see src is inline.bundle.js.
Yeah,
This is
yeah.
one of the file which is it is not able to get. Okay,
Okay.
can you
Yes, yes.
just mention here namita/inline.bundle.js?
Right.
Yes, so there are two more files.
Or two more files.
Yes, just go there, scroll right.
This style dot, right?
Yes, one more will be there in the end.
Okay, okay, okay.
Yes, just try now. You have to redeploy it.
No, 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 no. It's let me open the Chrome.
Can you just press F12?
Now it's working.
It's working. Yes.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. So
Okay.
yeah.
That's
So
good.
can you just tell me that how you got all this stuff? One is this link, this how you got this domain, like giftdukan.com. You got this domain from somewhere, right?
See, I am also a software professional working from last 12 years, right? So I have created multiple sites, different sites. So
Okay.
I have brought the domain giftdukan.com for somebody else, but I can use by creating the subfolder, right? That's
Okay, okay, fine. And it is now working even without putting /Namita, right?
no. Slash Namita is not required. Namita slash that, right?
No,
I will
in the
share you again.
URL. In the URL.
Uh, no, but if I type only givedukan.com, then it will not work. I think, let's see. It will not work because in root folder something else is
Okay,
uploaded.
okay,
Right?
okay, okay. I got
So
it.
okay. So in Namita it will come in Namita, right? Yes. You can type Namita slash index.html also.
Yes, yes, I got it.
That is same thing, right?
Okay, okay.
Okay.
Okay, fine. Okay, thank you. Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you. So
All
this
right.
way This way we can deploy it in different either Tomcat or other. This is basically the Apache server, right?
Okay, so you are using this routing app wherever you have hosted, that is using the Apache server.
Right.
You have
Right.
installed Apache there.
Yes. Yes.
Okay, okay. Okay, fine. I think Vikrant, I hope we got your answer.
Yes, yes.
Okay, great. So I think we will be able to host it on any server, right?
Yes. Yes.
Means if there is any website or is there any application which gives free hosting to us, we just need to create a folder there. We just need to upload this dist folder and just run it, right?
Yeah.
Okay, okay, fine. Then that's very simple.
You can freely use the Amazon Web Services, right? You can create the user in Amazon. They will provide you the free space also. You
Oh,
can
okay.
deploy over there also.
Okay, that is
Amazon,
also easy.
Yeah, Amazon Cloud.
Okay, okay. Sure, sure.
Or some other day I will provide you all the things, right?
All right, all right. Okay, thank you. And this FTP client, that is also with from Amazon, or how is it?
No, FTP client, you can use any type of FTP client, Qt FTP, WinSCP. Just I have used the WinSCP.
Oh,
right?
okay. So these are just open source softwares. It's not bundled. Okay, I thought it's bundled with the Amazon or something. Okay.
No. This is open source. WinSCP is the FTP software. You can use Qt FTP and different FTPs are there, right?
Mm-hmm. All right. Okay, finally we got it. Thanks a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I will stop sharing my screen, right?
Sure. All right. Any other doubts from anyone? Okay, Nagarju has shared that there is a Fire FTP, which is a kind of add-on in Mozilla. Thanks, Nagarju. We'll try that out.
Hello.
Yeah.
Let me. Yeah, that is a add-on basically. But if you want to host somewhere else, then you need the IP address of that server where you have the space, right?
Okay.
And only using the FTP, you can't upload the content into somewhere else.
All right.
For that, you need to space on the server.
Okay.
For example, let me share you. Let me share you 1 second, right?
Sure.
Yeah. See, this is basically. Let me log out my FTP, right? Session. Let me close it out. You can see my screen, right?
Yes, we can.
Yeah. See, this is my WinSCP, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, within these are the site I have created, different type of site. Yes, so this is one I can use. So I can, wait. This is the FTP, this is the IP address or the host name, you can say host name, right?
Mm-hmm.
And this is user ID and password.
Okay, all these things you have configured in the WinSCP, right?
Yes, that you can, whenever you are going to transfer from your local system to some other system, you need this host name as well as the user ID and password.
Yes.
Right. So let's say I want to connect your system,
Okay.
or some other web server. Then from that, for example, I have brought this FTP www.givdukan.com from godaddy.com, right?
Okay.
Then GoDaddy provide me this user ID and this password.
Okay.
and using this user ID and password, I can log in into the remote server.
Sure.
So click on this button. These are the panel, right? So these are my local system, and this is the remote system. On GoDaddy, I have brought 1 GB of space,
Okay.
right? Okay, that way only the FTP is not working. Not work. For that, you need server space and host name and user ID and password.
Okay. So like this giftdukan.com is a kind of a domain name which you have purchased, right? If you
Yes,
do not
yes.
want, if we do not want any domain name,
Uh-huh.
then GoDaddy is not required, right? We can directly go to AWS and we can directly host
Yes,
it.
Amazon is something different. For Amazon, you can create your user ID and same user ID and password. You can they will provide you the space. There is no need
Okay.
of brought a domain name.
Okay. That means then there is no role of GoDaddy now.
Yeah, there is no role of GoDaddy. GoDaddy is something basically it's a public, right?
Yeah, it's
Everybody can use that things.
to purchase the domain names. It's for
Domain name.
purchasing the domain.
Yes.
Okay. Then all this hosting and everything will be done on the AWS, and I can
AWS.
directly run it. Only thing is I will not be having a domain name. I have to
Yes.
type some IP. That's it.
Not IP. They will provide you the URL, something called.
Oh, okay.
For example, your AcadGuild also is hosted. You upload the content, right?
Yes.
That is also uploaded on the Amazon Cloud Services.
Exactly.
You can see
Yes.
the URL
Right.
S3 US West. You can see, right?
Yes.
This is also created on the Amazon Web Services.
Okay, so I will be getting some kind of junk URL like this. Only thing is,
Yes.
I will not be having some beautiful URL like some myname.com or something, right?
No. You are not getting like that.
Yeah. Only thing is I
Because
will be getting a kind of this URL. Only that is the difference.
yes.
Okay.
It's very good things Amazon Web Services is.
Yes. It's great.
Your AcadGuild, all the documents are uploaded over there.
Yes. Even all the videos, recorded sessions, everything is there only.
Yes.
Okay. All right. Okay. Thank you.
Yes. Okay.
Thanks a lot for sharing your knowledge.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. Okay then. Thanks, guys. Now we'll see you tomorrow. Okay. Bye bye. Have a good night.